Hi, my name is Shunda, and welcome to Herbal Expedition, where we explore all things gardening, herbs, and aromatherapy. Today's adventure, we will embark upon an exhilarating journey through Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs: A Beginner's Guide, as we delve into the enchanting realm of starting seeds for your favorite kitchen herbs. We're using some very familiar kitchen herbs today, but our adventure commences with me pre-moistening the Jiffy Natural Organic Seed Starting Mix. This mix is moistened so that we give our seeds the perfect kickstart. It's really very absorbent, so it's taking the water quite well. And as I said, I like to moisten, but I don't want it dripping wet. I like this to be able to, like when you have sand at the beach, how it will kind of stick together, but I don't want it where it's dripping. So let's see. Yes, it's kind of doing that. So what I'm going to do is give this a few minutes to hydrate. And as it's hydrating, we'll go ahead and get our labels ready so that we can label them as we put them in the self-start kit. Some of the ones that she recommended, just in case you don't remember or you weren't with us, were sweet basil, rosemary, thyme, cayenne pepper. So we're going to go ahead and label these. Some other things that she suggested were garlic and ginger, and I do plan to start those, but I like to use organic ones from the grocery store in order to get started. So we'll do that in a separate video because I would like for those particular ones to sprout first before I put them out or plant them, and I won't be putting those in this seed starting tray that I have here. So I have a few plant labels, and I've gotten one of the Sharpie oil-based Sharpies, because what I found last year is that many of my labels, after being beat up by the heat, the sun, as well as the rain, it disappeared and I can no longer see what was written on it. I want to make sure that I am able to see what it's labeled as, because when seeds are first starting out, sometimes it's hard to tell what they actually are. So I'm going to go ahead, and since this is an oil-based pen, I'll need to shake it a little bit to get started. So I will open this, get these labels ready with the seeds that we're going to be planting, so that as we plant the seeds, we'll be able to label, because they'll all start to look alike once they're in this tray. I'll be right back. I'm back, and I'm just finishing up my labels, my plant labels, so that we can go ahead and get started with putting the seed starting mix in the cell tray. So I have labeled each of the, I have used the marker to write each name of the seeds that I'm going to be planting. Go ahead and get the cell starting kit and get started with that. So as I plant each of the seeds, I'll go ahead and label that row so that I won't forget what was planted there. As soon as I get these moved over, I'll get my kit set up and ready to go. I guess I'll go ahead and put a little water down in the water tray so that I don't have that left to do after I fill those cells. To get started, I am going to take the seed starting mix, and it's had time to absorb the water. It is fairly moist. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cells started. So I'm just going to kind of smooth this. I'm not going to pack it in. I'm just going to smooth it over so that I can see that each of the cells are kind of filled as close to the top as possible. Most of the seeds that I'm starting today only needs the depth of about 1/4 of an inch. So they're not seeds that are planted very deeply. They all need light to germinate. And so by not burying them very, very deep, it allows the seeds to get the light that is needed for germination. And I'm not pressing down on this, flattening the soil. I'm just kind of smoothing it over to get it all in each of the cells. And there are a couple ways that you can do this. I chose to get those plant labels, but you can draw a diagram of what you have here and then label your diagram so that you know where you planted each of the different seeds. I just thought it would be quicker and easier for me to use those labels rather than having to draw a diagram. As you know, when you're starting seeds, the seeds will need moisture or the water. They will need some light. Not all seeds require lights, but these seeds will need some light, some moisture from the water, and some time. Time for the plant to develop, time for the seeds to germinate. Okay, let's see. I have most of my cells about done, and I'm packing them a little, not much. I don't want the soil tightly packed in, but I don't want a whole lot of air in between the soil either. Okay, so some of the herbs that she recommended in her book were cayenne, so we're going to get started with the cayenne first. And so that nothing gets confused, I am going to find my label that says cayenne, and I'm going to go ahead and place it there. And when looking at the seed packet, it gives you some information. It tells us that this needs to be about a 1/4 inch depth, and it takes about 10 to 14 days for germination and 55 to 75 days to harvest. So I'm going to go ahead, open this packet. And peppers have a pretty decent germination rate. So I'm only going to put about 2 or 3 seeds per cell. And as the seeds start to germinate, and I have several, I will thin them to the one that looks like it will be the strongest plant. So we have time to talk about that once the seeds germinate. I plan to bring you guys along and let you see as the development happens. So this one, as I said, is 10 to 14 days. And the cayenne seeds are not extremely small. I'm going to go ahead and take one of these and just put a little hole. And seed packets cost about $3.50 for the organic ones. They're about $3.50 a package. Should you choose not to go the route of trying to germinate those that are not trying to grow from seed, those that don't have such a great germination rate, it will cost about probably $4 to $5 to actually buy a starter plant. So the choice is really yours. Do what you feel comfortable with. I do have some starter plants in the event that this doesn't go exactly the way that I want it to go. I'm just finishing up with putting my seeds in the cells. I did a lot more than the recommended ones in Rosemary Gladstar's book, but there are a lot of herbs that I really wanted to try my hand at growing this season, so I decided to buy a few other seeds. And actually, I bought so many seeds that I'm going to have to get another cell kit for starting seeds because I don't have enough space in this one. And what I've chosen to do is do 6 of each plant. That way, in case some don't make it or don't germinate, I will increase the likelihood of me being able to have that particular medicinal plant. And some of these that I've planted are other herbs or other seeds that she talks about within the text. But I just thought if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, it may be easier to start with those first 9 familiar herbs. But by all means, knock yourself out if you'd like to do more than that. It is not quite closing. The labels are a little bit high. See if I'm going to get this figured out. I'm going to go ahead and get these started. Well, before I do that, I wanted to just give a light spray. I'm going to get this figured out. Once I get everything set up with my grow lights and my heating mat, I'll bring you back and show you the final setup. But please like, share, subscribe if you're enjoying the information, the journey that we're on. Share it with a friend and see if they'd like to come along with us on our herbal expedition. I told you guys that I'd bring you back once I had my seed starting tray set up. So I have it set up here in my garage because it's the only place that has space for it actually. But as you see here is the seed starting tray, and it's evident that it's very humid because you can see all the condensation that's on the top. It's been about, I think it was Saturday when we did the initial recording, and today is Tuesday, so I got it set up on Sunday. We did get the seed starting tray set up. We started the seeds on Saturday, but I didn't actually get my setup until Sunday. But as you can see, there's a lot of condensation in here because I did get the heat mat set up. So I have a heating mat, then I have row lights that are set right under here. And I haven't even taken a peek at this since we got started, so I think I will take the top off. Oh my, some seeds have sprouted. So this is day, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, day 3. And on day 3, we have basil that is sprouted. There is calendula that's sprouted. The chamomile has sprouted. The holy basil has sprouted. And we have one of the thyme peeking up. So actually 2 thyme seeds that are peeking up. I don't want to dump anything out because there's water in the bottom tray. But I'm trying to give you a little look at what we have going on here. I'm really quite pleased, especially at the thyme, because thyme isn't always easy to start. And we did have a drop in temperatures, like last night we got down into the 30s, I think about 33 or 34 degrees, and today it has gotten up into the 40s. And so it's a little bit cool, but there's some airflow in my garage. I'm gonna put this back down here. Oh, the other thing is, remember when we got started, I had some white labels that were actually too tall for me to be able to close the tray. So I went and got some popsicle sticks and substituted those, and I just saved the labels, and I'll take those labels and put them in the garden once I get these planted out in the garden. But there are lots of fun things that we shall be doing in the very near future. We have to get, because in the, I think I better do this a different way. In Mary Gladstar's book, some of the things that she talks about starting are turmeric, ginger, and garlic, and those are not things that I'm starting from seed. I'm going to be starting those from the grocery store, pieces from the grocery store. So I am going to get a videotape of those as I get those started and take you along for that. Keep that humidity going, keep it in, make sure that it's placed on the mat. So that's kind of it for now. I will continue to bring you back. I'll try to document which seeds have sprouted as of day 3, and I'll try to take some pictures and maybe post some pictures later on, or either bring it on Word on the Streets on Thursday night and show you some pictures of where the seeds are as of Thursday. Thank you so much for coming along on this herbal expedition. I wish you peace and aromatic blessings from my home to yours.